The heat of Mustafar usually serves as a funeral pyre for the Jedi Order. But today, history fractures. Obi-Wan Kenobi does not draw his blade with the intent to kill. Instead, he drops his weapon, extending a hand of reconciliation. Anakin Skywalker, trembling with the residual agony of his slaughter at the Jedi Temple, pauses. The dark side whispers in his ear, promising power. But Obi-Wan's calm, familiar presence cuts through the haze. "It is not too late," Obi-Wan pleads, his voice steady despite the molten chaos surrounding them. Anakin looks at his own hands, stained with betrayal, and sees the reflection of his own destruction. The rage that fueled his descent begins to wane, replaced by a crushing wave of grief. In this heartbeat of uncertainty, the timeline shifts. Anakin does not lash out. He falls to his knees, his grip on his lightsaber loosening. The two men stand amidst the sulfurous smoke, the silence between them louder than the erupting planet. Anakin's eyes, still burning with the yellow hue of the Sith, slowly fade back to their natural blue. He realizes the trap he has fallen into. Palpatine did not offer him a path to save Padme, but a leash to enslave the galaxy. The prophecy of the Chosen One is not lost. It is merely redirected. However, the shadow of what he almost became remains, a phantom limb he can still feel. The path ahead is treacherous, and the cost of redemption will be paid in blood. Suddenly, the static of a holocom breaks the silence. Palpatine's voice ripples through the air, expecting confirmation of a massacre. Instead, Anakin stares at the projection, his expression hardening into cold, calculated steel. The arrival of the armored Titan, a man who is both Anakin and the monster known as Darth Vader, brings a chilling reality to the sanctuary of the ship. Obi-Wan stares at the black mask, seeing the inevitable end of his apprentice's path, while young Anakin recoils in horror. This is the future he was destined to inhabit, a machine fueled by pain and Sith ideology. Yet, the armored man speaks with the authority of someone who has already lost everything. Sidious controls the outcome. The armored Vader hisses, his voice a synthesized rasp that vibrates through the hull. He explains the nature of their impossible convergence. He has traveled through the folds of the Force to prevent his own creation. The alliance is born from desperation, not trust. Young Anakin must learn to wield his power without falling to the corruption that ruined his future self, while the elder Vader must confront the ghosts of his past. Obi-Wan acts as the anchor between the two. He monitors their connection to the Force, ensuring their combined strength doesn't tip into the void. They aren't just plotting a mission, they are attempting to rewrite the causal laws of the galaxy. Every movement they make is a gamble against a master manipulator who sees through the currents of the Force. The tension is palpable. The younger Anakin struggles to reconcile his love for Padme with the dark warning standing before him. They chart a course for Coruscant, knowing that if they are discovered, their very existence could trigger a collapse of reality. The hunt for Sidious has officially begun. Coruscant is a city of shadows, and for the Skywalkers, every street is a trap. They return as heroes of the front line, presenting a facade of victory to the Chancellor. Anakin maintains a fragile composure, his heart racing as he bows before the man who orchestrated his psychological ruin. Beside him, the armored Vader, masked as a high-ranking enforcer, commands a presence that makes even the most loyal senators uneasy. They are walking into the lion's den, relying on the Emperor's own hubris to shield their true intentions. The deception is suffocating. Anakin participates in briefings, detailing fake campaigns while his father monitors the building's security frequencies for any sign of betrayal. They operate with a synchronization that defies logic, communicating through subtle shifts in the Force. Every encounter with Palpatine is a tightrope walk. The Emperor's eyes seem to linger on them, sensing a disturbance in the dark side that he cannot quite identify. He knows something has changed in the timeline, but he assumes it is simply the fruit of his own machinations. Behind the scenes, the duo maps the labyrinthine tunnels beneath the Jedi Temple. They are looking for the Sith shrines that fuel Palpatine's reach. They move with calculated precision, knowing that one misstep will lead to their execution. Anakin struggles with the resentment he feels toward his elder self, whose presence is a constant reminder of his failures. Yet, the mission demands perfection. They are the ultimate weapon, aimed directly at the heart of the Sith Order. Anakin feels a sharp, cold sting in his mind, a psychic probe from Palpatine. He tightens his mental shields, realizing the Emperor is finally starting to suspect the truth. The plan is simple, brutal, and reckless. During a private audience, the two Skywalkers will confront the Chancellor in his inner sanctum. Anakin will provide the distraction, drawing Palpatine's focus, while the elder Vader strikes with the knowledge of every hidden weakness the Emperor possesses. There is no plan for escape. There is only the mission. As they enter the Chancellor's office, the air grows heavy with the suffocating weight of the dark side. Palpatine sits at his desk, a knowing, jagged smile spreading across his pale features. "I was wondering when you would choose your final form," the Emperor murmurs, his voice echoing with centuries of malice. He doesn't look surprised. He rises, and the room plunges into a freezing, unnatural chill. Anakin ignites his lightsaber, the blue blade humming with defiance. Beside him, the crimson blade of the armored Vader flares to life. They strike as one, a storm of force energy directed at the master of the galaxy. The office is torn apart by the intensity of their assault. Palpatine weaves through their attacks, his movements blur-like and lethal. He isn't just fighting. He is playing with them, testing the limits of their temporal alliance. The elder Vader sustains heavy damage, his armor sparking as lightning arcs across his chest. Anakin finds himself pushed to the absolute edge of his capabilities, forced to channel the very emotions he promised to master. They are gaining ground, but the cost is mounting with every strike. With a final, desperate push, they force the Emperor against the window overlooking the city. But Palpatine laughs, revealing he has already triggered a planetary lockdown. The windows of the office shatter, but there is no escape. Palpatine stands amidst the debris, his hands crackling with volatile purple energy. He reveals the truth. He didn't just sense them, he lured them here. The timeline wasn't fractured by chance. It was torn by his own deep space sorcery to bring the two versions of the Chosen One into his grasp. He intends to absorb their combined power, using the paradox to stabilize his rule for eternity. The air becomes a weapon. Palpatine manipulates their deepest fears, projecting visions of a galaxy ruled by the Skywalkers, a vision of chaos, war, and absolute tyranny. He forces Anakin to see his father not as an ally, but as a parasite stealing his future. Simultaneously, he convinces the elder Vader that his younger self is too weak to lead, a liability that must be pruned for the survival of the Empire. The room turns into a battlefield of fractured loyalties. Anakin and Vader suddenly find their blades clashing against one another, their movements driven by a dark influence that overrides their own wills. They are fighting for their own lives, their own history, and the very identity of the man who exists in two places at once. The pain is intoxicating. The Emperor watches from the shadows, siphoning the energy generated by their internal conflict to heal his own wounds. They are becoming exactly what Palpatine wanted, weapons of total destruction. As they swing at each other, the reality of the room begins to flicker, the walls dissolving into raw, chaotic energy as the timeline begins to collapse under the pressure. The battle tears through the Senate district, a whirlwind of blue and red light that leaves destruction in its wake. Obi-Wan Kenobi watches from the sidelines, his heart heavy with the weight of his failure. He sees the two Skywalkers locked in a death spiral, their minds twisted by Palpatine's influence. He knows he cannot save them both. To stop the Emperor, he must make a choice that will haunt his soul until his final breath. The Jedi Temple is already falling. If they don't stop the conflict, the galaxy will burn. Obi-Wan realizes that the armored Vader is the nexus of the distortion, As long as that future exists, the present remains trapped in an endless loop of pain. He steps between them, his lightsaber ignited, taking the full brunt of their combined misguided rage. "Enough!" he screams, but his voice is drowned out by the roar of their weapons. He is forced to defend himself against the two people he loves most in the galaxy. He makes his move. He directs his strike not at his former apprentice, but at the armor of the Elder version, aiming for the life support systems that keep the monster alive. It is an act of mercy and cold execution. Anakin gasps, horrified, as his future self begins to collapse. The link between them shudders, and the dark influence holding them captive snaps, leaving only the wreckage of a broken timeline and the echoes of their regret. The Elder Vader falls, his mask fracturing to reveal the weary, aged face of the man who could have been, while Palpatine prepares his final strike. The death of the Elder Vader did not stop the collapse. It accelerated it. Reality is bleeding. The sky above Coruscant turns a violent, bruised purple as the fabric of time rips open, revealing the void where the future once stood. Anakin stands over the fallen form of his future self, watching as the body dissolves into stardust. He realizes that the paradox was never meant to be resolved, only endured. Palpatine, sensing the decay of reality, desperately tries to anchor himself to the physical world, tearing through the defenses of the Jedi Order to claim his prize. Anakin feels the weight of every action he has taken. The Jedi are dead, the Republic is in ruins, and the Force is screaming. He stares at the void, seeing reflections of 1,000 different lives he could have lived. He is the center of the storm, the pivot point upon which the entire universe is balancing. Every choice he makes now ripples outward, tearing holes in the atmosphere. The betrayal is total. He has betrayed the timeline, his own future, and the very order he swore to protect. He looks up to see Obi-Wan, who is barely holding on, his connection to the Force fading as the world around them begins to disintegrate. Palpatine is no longer a man. He is a beacon of shadow, drawing the energy of the dying world into himself. There is no more room for debate. The final act of the tragedy is upon them, and the price of victory is existence itself. Anakin turns toward the Emperor, his eyes glowing with a power that transcends the Force, as he realizes he must become something entirely new to end this. The end arrives with blinding clarity. Anakin understands that he is the anomaly, the singular point of failure that has doomed the galaxy to this cycle of suffering. As long as he exists, the dark side will find a way to manifest through him. He looks at Obi-Wan one last time, a silent apology passing between them, before he plunges his hands into the rift of raw, unfiltered Force energy. He isn't just fighting Palpatine, he is unmaking himself. He pulls the timeline back, stitching the threads together by removing the catalyst, his own choice to fall. The world erupts in a blinding white light that consumes the Chancellor, the Senate, and the very memory of the war. Reality rewinds, folding in on itself like a dying star. Obi-Wan feels his memory slipping away, the trauma of Mustafar, the horror of the Empire, the long years of war, all fading into the ether of the unknown. It is a quiet, profound erasure. The Skywalker who would have been a villain is gone, and the Skywalker who would have been a hero is simply not. The Force finds its balance again, undisturbed by the interference of a future that never was. The galaxy wakes up to a different morning, a quiet peace where the Republic endures and the Jedi remain the guardians of justice. The nightmare is over, and the history books will never know the name of the man who saved them by disappearing. In the final moment of consciousness, Anakin smiles, feeling the dark side finally release its hold as the universe resets into a future of light and silence.